Cool. Sue the company. Number two, when you say you know your rights, shut the hell up. I'm going to say this to y'all so you can really understand exactly what you're dealing with. You are not dealing with sane individuals. Large number and percentage of police officers currently right now are on one or more forms of psychotropic drugs. Listen to what I'm telling you so you can understand exactly who you're dealing with. A number of these people are not in their right mind. They are not sane. And they are given a license to kill. All they have to say is they fear for their life. Why are you in a position, a job that literally requires you to potentially face death every single day, and you get to run around and say, I fear for my life? That's an oxymoron. That don't make no sense. No, you are giving people a badge, a license, and a gun to kill people indiscriminately. So when you say you know your rights, the first thing that you should know is the right to remain silent. Number two, if you don't have
Shalom. This is a Sharp by Sharala out of Lionsden Camp, located in Jacksonville, Florida. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Father and the Son, and the proper true Hebrew tongue, the Paleo Hebrew tongue. Kal Halam La, Yahweh Bashmal Shai, Bashem, Habakak Kodashma Maf. Also, double honors to the elders and the apostles of GMS, and double honors to my elder as well, a hard one by Sharala. Peace and blessing to the 1/3, and salutations to for elect. Give me a quick lesson. And that Muslim dude, he might have he got like a good amount of little knowledge. I mean, any person I see with like type of like history knowledge, or at least like economic knowledge and stuff like about today's time. I'm like, dang, why they not you might as well just go ahead and do the right thing. But of course, it's like it's the Most High's will, and also it's probably about money and stuff. You probably get a lot of money, so yeah. But nevertheless, this is Matthew chapter 5:25. It says, "Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison." So I think in the times of like 2020, or I think around the time a whole bunch of like the BLM, the ball Lucifer Marlak had Jake thinking he is the more deserving of equal rights, But what you gonna do with the equal rights? Jake, he's gonna be just as wicked. Jake is where he's supposed to be, man. Most of these young dudes, man, they are allowed. They just about allowed to kill their own people, glorify it, put it in a song, and tell it to the judge, and they get off scot free. Sometimes they go to jail. Sometimes they got to rap. Sometimes they got to do. So this is a system that Esau has created. These Khazars has produced these industries, of course, as far as the entertainment industry. But as far as these judges, Esau, these what's it called? The overseers, the officers. If you're in a car, man, and you acting like the dude that they got hit in the face here in Jacksonville, then you already know that you're gonna get your behind beat, or you gonna get thrown in jail, or you might lose your life, because this is not our rest. It's not our rest to be battling, going head to head with Esau. This is his kingdom, and Jake will ride out. 2/3 Jake, what's it called, the Sambo or the Uncle Tom, whichever, with the house slave basically, will ride out about Esau and try to take your life away as well. So that's why you're supposed to have, you're supposed to be circumspect. Supposed to be circumspect, and you're supposed to be wise, and you're supposed to be slow to wrath, because a lot of Jake will go crazy and be mad at Esau for doing what they're supposed to do. That's what Esau is, the perfect being of wickedness. He has created even our people to be those people, and of course I'm mad at Jake, but even that's what 2/3 of Jake, supposed to be 2/3 of Jake. They're there for a reason. So it's all how you kind of look at it, and how you how your ability is to conserve your anger, because you're supposed to conserve your anger for stuff that you need to conserve it for, such as work. Work for the Lord or work for yourself. For your family. You know. So why use it in a unknowledgeable way instead of using it in a proper way? But yeah, that's what the scriptures say about being pulled over. I mean, about anything like this situation, anything like situation wise. Agree with your adversary quickly. Ultimately, this is James chapter 1:19 says, "Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath." So, come man, the elder in the camp, same thing. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Don't let that mouth get you in trouble. Don't let them ears give you anything you need to. All right. So once again, it said, "Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath." So a lot of people just be angry and want to just talk and chew you out, but that's not gonna work in every situation. You gotta be circumspect, and you gotta be and you cannot be wrathful. We do not have those. We do not have that type of luxury to be like Esau and crash out, or Jake that want to be another statistic in this society and become a statistic, man, and be unalive. So what you would do in that situation, you would have to be slow to wrath and slow to speak and swift to hear, so you can know what to do next and get out of there and keep your life, because you got a whole nother mission that you need to be doing. That go for any Jake. They go for any unlearned Jakes or learned Jakes. Anything, man. Esau get you mad, but Yahweh is not mad at Yahweh is more mad at more mad at 2/3 of our people. Because we are the we are the chosen children of the Most High, and we choose to not follow their ways. Yahweh cried. He wept. So the fact that our people are not following the ways of Yahweh is a very angering thing and a very sad thing. And that's what the Lord. That's what two of our people do deserve, is wrath and righteous indignation from the Lord Yahweh Shai. And shoot, all the whole nation. We all of Israel does deserve that. But the Lord gave us mercy. He gave us mercy and allowed 1/3 of the remnant can be saved, and 144,000 elect men. That's way more than we even deserve. He can cast us out completely, But he's allowing Esau to, he governed Esau and gave that, and he allowed Esau to have the sword. And what Esau's doing with the sword is what he's doing right now, and we understand that. And that's just like a whole 3D perspective on it. That Esau is here because the Lord allowed it, and Esau, of course, turning up. And as men of the Lord, you gotta turn up too. You gotta turn up the volume, any way, shape, or form you can. And this is our time to wake out, and this is not our rest. This is Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32. It says, "He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. He that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh." Shlakia. It says, "And he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city." So, man, he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. All right. Just because Esau and two other people, like the Black Panthers, IOIC, they may look mighty because they numbers, because they look, they got gay happy clothing on, what you call it? They have vibrant color. They look mighty, they look prideful, they look elegant, whatever. But him that's slow to anger is mightier than that. It's the one that take over a city. Esau can take over a city. The one that's circumspect and is prudent and slow to anger, and that's swift to hear, is chosen. Is really it's a gift. You can't be angry at nothing that's handed to you. The Lord gave it to you in the first place. Everything is a test. Everything is a test, a trial, and you have to pass it every single day. The Lord is given to his soldiers every single day, especially on highways and byways. It's always prophecies and parables that you got on lock, and breakdowns and meat that you got to absorb and regurgitate properly. So um, nonetheless, that is our duty on this earth, not to be squabbling and be mad at all the time. Now of course you can be mad reasonably be mad, reasonably, but nonetheless, use it in the correct way. He that slow to anger. So you can't be angry at that this person, and physically be angry at that person and be carnal about it. That's ultimately. This is Job chapter 9, verse 24. It says, "The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" This is obviously, it's a rhetorical question. I say the a few brothers would definitely go would slow stroke it, but slow roll it, whatever you would call it. But who is the man that covered the faces of the judges? Who is the devil? Who is the ham of the earth? Some people don't know that answer. Some people just think it can be the government. Who run the government? So ultimately it's Esau, the Caucasian race. If I think some Christians believe that Esau doesn't exist. Or I know Vocab alone believe that. Vocab believe what you call it. Believe there's a small remnant of them. But nonetheless, they rule the whole world. It's an elite family that rule the whole world. They create the dollar. Their signature is more than these monopoly money that we use. All right. How does the world work is has been illustrated and authored on like various like video games and movies. About the bad guy being this guy in the what's it called, the Wizard Oz or something like that. Esau may seem big and bad as the government, quote unquote government. Let's say that for people, the government slash Esau. Esau ultimately may seem big because they like the wizard in the Wizard Eyes, but really just 12 elite. Well, I don't know 12 family, but elite families, feeble, by the way, like Mr. Burns, feeble men that control the world. That use Trump as a puppet, any congressman, and everything, and it's all in their favor. It has nothing to do with democracy and justice and all that stuff. But democracy is truly a demonocracy. All right, so any justice that you believe we have on this earth is any justice that you believe you have in America is only gonna be on a small scale, like suing your employer, or possibly suing Esau, be assault charge and whatnot. So, but nonetheless, you can't go too far with that. You can't fight with their blessing, like the sword and gun, like the Black Panther did. You can only fight, just like going in that brother there, that Muslim dude. You can only fight that power with the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah. He's trying to fight it with Allah or whatever. No wrong. He's a pretty knowledgeable dude, but he still following Muslim. And he probably just getting money. That's the only reason why, because he and that type of mindset to know this type of stuff, But that's a zeal. Ultimately, that's just a zeal. He definitely has a zeal. But if you're not doing the work of the Lord, then what you really doing then? You got to, it's not our rest. We shouldn't be fighting with our judges when they can they can take us off whenever they want to. So honestly, that's why you gotta pray and ask for the Lord for help. Call it His name when you really need help, and pray. Call up His name when you really need help, because you cannot call anyone no other name. And that name does matter. He like a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. 10 feet tall, white woolly hair. Brass feet, brass skin, furnace, polish. I'm trying to think of the word. Well, yeah. Brass is burned into a furnace, but a polished and refined, radiant, color though. But nonetheless, this is what the word is. You cannot be quick to wrath and not talk and not hear and be like a beast, because we do not have them type of abilities. We are underneath this world. All right. The only we can use is the spirit, you know, because this flesh ain't nothing. These bodies ain't nothing. That's why we need new ones. That's why we use the spirit, because the spirit is good. As long as you get that spirit, it's perfect, and keep it up, man. But y'all really all this edifying little lessons going on, being slow to wrath and agree with it very quickly, because that's what you got to do. You know, you got to be circumspect and listen. But y'all really it was an edifying lesson. With that, I'll say shalom.